If you've got concerns about election integrity in Washington state, you're going to want to watch this video today because we're talking about a new bill proposed in Washington that would reduce barriers for jail voting. Hey everyone, I'm Julie Barrett, founder of Conservative Ladies of America and Conservative Ladies of Washington, and I'm back again with another bill of the day for Washington state. Today we are talking about House Bill 1146, which would seek to reduce barriers in voting in jails and state hospitals. But there's a catch. This expansion comes with a host of issues that we believe could undermine the security, efficiency, and fairness in the Washington state electoral process. So, first, let's talk about security. So, per this bill, each jail and state hospital would have to have a voting and elections coordinator. Every county auditor would also have to have a jail and hospital election coordinator as well. And all of these people would have to have access to these facilities 30 days prior to the election. So, not just the election security concerns that we have with this bill, but also the safety and security concerns that we have as far as in the jail and in the state hospitals with inmates and that sort of thing. And who is doing the vetting process for these individuals? And given the current security systems, are they already up to par with what would be necessary to allow these individuals to come in and work with these populations in the jails and the hospitals? Or would there be more security measures that would need to be taken to allow this to happen? And how much would that cost? We also have the issue of resources for this. We know that Washington state is already facing a budget deficit of up to $16 billion. And this does not sound like an inexpensive piece of legislation. We predict that there will be a heavy fiscal note to go along with this bill. In addition to the security concerns I already mentioned, you have staff. As I said, you've got to have a voting coordinator in all of these places. You've got to have staffing at your county auditor's level. This is a lot of resources for, these hospitals and jails are already stretched pretty thin as far as their budgets go. So where is this money going to come from? Obvious rhetorical question. It's coming from the taxpayers. You, the taxpayers, will be funding this. The bill also has a clause for the attorney general to bring a lawsuit and impose fines to jails, hospitals, and even county auditors who may be falling short of their duties in reference to this piece of legislation. So could this maybe potentially create an atmosphere of fear rather than a spirit of collaboration and coordination, which is what we would want? And a lot of people, if you live in Washington or have spent time in Washington or know anything about Washington, you know that there's kind of a cultural divide between Eastern and Western Washington, and even some parts of Western Washington and that core Puget Sound region of Pierce, King, and Snohomish County. So that also brings up another big issue as far as the legal and the litigious concerns that this bill would bring. Not to mention, it consolidates power under the executive branch and giving the Attorney General and soon to be Governor Bob Ferguson more power is very concerning, especially when it comes to elections, because most Washington citizens have great concerns with the elections process and have had for at least 2 decades now or even longer. Look, we're all about getting more citizens out to vote in our elections, and we believe that everybody who has a legal right to vote should exercise that privilege and duty and vote, whether they're Democrat or Republican. But we don't believe that this is really the best way for us to get better turnout in Washington state. There's probably a much more cost-effective way to encourage all citizens to vote. And this does seem to give special treatment to certain populations of people, which could have even more concerns as far as election integrity. Who are the people that will have access to the voters in these facilities, in the jails and the hospitals? Will it be leftist organizations that the Democrats in power are preferential to? That seems something that would be safe to assume. The last thing I want to mention about this is that it has the University of Washington Evans School to do a report on this program and then report back to the legislature in 2026. So again, University of Washington is also pretty left. So there's concerns about how that would be as far as nonpartisan. Would they be able to bring a nonpartisan report to the state legislature in 2026? So a lot of concerns with this bill. We will keep you posted as we go through the session, as this bill comes up for a public hearing, how you can speak out about it, how you can just sign in, which is 30 seconds from your smartphone, or if you'd like to testify either in person or virtually on Zoom. We need more people to be doing that. But in the meantime, if you would share this video with your friends so that they know what's going on in Washington State, this legislative session, and so that y'all can join us and be the resistance, make sure you are subscribed to our channel and turn those notifications on. Once the legislative session starts on January 13th, many of our videos will be very time sensitive and we'll have a call to action for you as well. So thanks for watching. Thanks for engaging. And I look forward to chatting with you again next time.